Hi, my name's Simone Mattinson and I am the Group Parent Partnership Manager here at the Witherslack Group, and I'm here to talk to you about the 5 phases of the Education, Health and Care Plan. So phase 1 is the request for an Education, Health and Needs Assessment, often referred to as an ECNA. This is where you would make your application to the local authority for the assessment to take place. If you believe your child has or may have special educational needs and may need an education and healthcare plan in order to support those needs, your application should be successful. The local authority has 6 weeks in which to respond to your request, and if the request is denied, you do have a right to appeal. The request can be made by either parent or carer, the educational setting that the child is currently attending, or the young person themselves if they are aged between 16 and 25. Phase 2 is where the local authority makes the decision as to whether they are going to carry out the needs assessment. This decision should be based on the evidence that you have provided when you made your request. They will be looking at whether the child has or may have special educational needs and whether they may need an education and healthcare plan in order to support those needs. That decision should be relayed back to parent and carer within 6 weeks, and if the decision is not to assess, you do have a right to appeal. Phase 3 is the assessment. The local authority is required by law to gather evidence from the following professionals: educational psychologist, educational setting, that could be the SENCO, the head teacher at the school that your child currently attends. They also need to gather information from yourself as a parent and carer, and from other agencies that may be involved with your child that they feel may be necessary to contribute towards the assessment. And that could include speech and language therapists, occupational therapists, or anybody that the local authority reasonably feels need to be involved. They must also consider reports and evidence from other people that parent and carer or the young person reasonably requests. And that could be anybody that's involved with your child or young person. It could be CAMS, it could be social workers, and these will all be gathered together to make the decision as to whether they're going to issue the plan. Phase 4 is the decision from the local authority as to whether they are going to issue you with an education, health, care plan. This decision must be made on the basis of the information that's been gathered throughout the assessment process and must be relayed to you as the parent and carer within 16 weeks from when you made your initial request for a needs assessment. Again, if the decision at the end of this stage is that they are not going to issue you with a plan, you have a right to appeal. Phase 5, which is the final stage of the process, is the issuing of the plan. You will firstly be issued with a draft EHCP, which should not and must not name the school in section I. This must be left blank until the final is issued. The draft stage is where you will have an opportunity to read through all of the relevant sections of the plan and determine whether or not you're happy with them. If you're not, if you've got anything that you feel needs changing or is incorrect, you can go back to the local authority and ask for those amendments to be made. Once all of those amendments have been considered and the plan has been changed, you will then receive your final EHCP. The whole process should take 20 weeks. This is a legal timescale. The clock starts ticking on day 1 when the local authority receive your request for a needs assessment, and the final plan must be issued by the end of week 20. This may at times go outside of this timescale for lots of reasons. It may be that people weren't available to make the assessments. It may be that you need more time to look through the plan and to make requests to change. But it's important that we get that plan finalised as soon as possible, which then opens up your route to appeal should you not be happy with the name of the school that's in section I or the content of the plan. So this has been a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the 5 stages of the EHCP process. There is obviously a lot more to this than we've just covered, and should you need further advice and support, please feel free to download our EHCP support pack, which you can find on the Witherslack Group website under the resources.